Hello, Miami. This is 305 Sports Now, your home podcast and channel for all things Miami sports related. I am Will, and it is game week. All right, game week as the Miami Hurricanes will open up the season at the Rock, all right, against the Miami of Ohio RedHawks in the Battle of Miami. Not a real battle because you don't know the real Miami is. It's all about the 305. All right, so the bottom line is that it is going to be a season opener. And it's going to be a fun season opener. I do think the Miami Hurricanes will cover the spread, being 17 points over. But I do believe the Miami Hurricanes will win by more than 17 points. Now, what about these RedHawks? Okay, so these RedHawks have done some talking, during the week. And I will say, they're from the MAC conference. They're returning about 9 starters on defense. The record itself was not very good. They were 6-7, 4-4 in their conference. But they did have the top defense in their conference, right? The Miami RedHawks defense was pretty stellar, as they only averaged about opponents only averaged 22 points a game, against them, and they're returning 9 starters on defense. But but their offense is not very good, as their offense only averaged 20 points a game, which is the main reason why they finished 4-4 in their conference and 6-7. But the talk of the town has been the starting quarterback for the RedHawks, and that is Brett Gabbert. Yes, the brother of Blaine Gabbert. Brett Gabbert played in 4 games last season, went 74 for 115 with a 64% completion percentage, 816 yards, 4 touchdowns. But the magic number is that he had 0 picks, right? He's very good at holding on to the football. Now, reports have been going on that he is a pretty solid quarterback, has a very good arm, pretty accurate, as you can tell from the 64% completion percentage. He is considered a game manager. We'll see what kind of offense the RedHawks want to come out with this year, but he is a game manager. He's got a solid arm, as I mentioned earlier, and he's also a running threat. Running quarterbacks last year did hurt Miami, so Miami may want to put a spy on him to make sure he doesn't go for big yards. But I do believe our pass rush will be pretty intense against Gabbert. Now, they also had a couple acquisitions in the transfer portal. More notable ones are Joe Wilkins, a 3-star wide receiver that came out of Notre Dame, and Johnny Young, the 4-star offensive tackle out of the University of Kentucky. So they went from Notre Dame to Kentucky over to Miami of Ohio. So I'm expecting a fun game. I'm expecting Miami to handle business. The only thing about the Canes that I will say could be a bit of an issue, and this is the reason why I'm glad we're opening up against Miami, Ohio, and not straight A&M or straight FSU or straight Clemson on week 1, is because we have 40 new players on the roster. Not just 40 new players, we also have 2 coordinators as well. 1 defensive coordinator and 1 offensive coordinator. So it's going to take a bit of an adjustment now that the game is pretty much now live, to make sure that things go to fruition. The offensive line is pretty new as well. The defensive line has gone through a bit of revamping. Okay, even though we're going to see Jafar Harvey, and so on. Yeah, we do expect Ruben Bain and Jaden Wayne to get into the game, as well. Okay, so I do anticipate the young guys will get in this game eventually, and I do believe they will contribute and they will play well in this game. I'm excited to see the offensive line. I will say this. I'm excited to see how the line looks. I've heard great things that's coming from practice over at Greentree. I'm hearing them opening holes. The running backs are getting through their lanes. They're making plays as well, running the football, which is something that Miami struggled with last year. Miami struggled running the football, and Miami's passing offense wasn't very good either. Okay, so that is something I've talked about ad nauseum here. I won't continue to do it, but we do expect improvements under Shannon Dawson's system, which is a more pass happy system. And not only that, it also has a solid component of the running game as well. So I do expect Miami to control the line of scrimmage. They need to control the line of scrimmage. I do expect to be more of a balance, because that way TVD could get what he needs to do to get in rhythm, to establish timing with his receivers in an in-game setting as well. And the running backs, get their feet wet, hit their lanes, hit their holes. The offensive linemen, especially the young line on the right side of that line, which is, Ines Cooper and Francis Mauinoa, can get, basically some in-game action and get used to it. So that way, when they play A&M next week, they're a bit more, basically the Cowboys have been shaken off. Now they played an actual game. It's not just their boys in practice, and then go out there and kick some serious butt. Okay, so I'm expecting some good things out of this offense. Miami on offense needs to jump out right away and humiliate the RedHawks. I mean, they need to destroy that defense, that MAC conference defense, that number 1 defense in the MAC conference, right? They need to crush it right away with a nice ground and pound game and a sweet air raid system. So if you're going to go vertical, if it's available, this is the game to test how vertical you really want to go and how vertical you can go. And I'm excited to see the passing game really explode, in this game. I really do think that we will see some big plays with Tyler Van Dyke to possibly, obviously his buddy Xavier Restrepo, but I really want to see Tyler Harrell. Tyler Harrell, the speedster who runs a 4.2 40, who played for Louisville and transferred out of Alabama. I'm excited to see how he's going to do in the game as well. Listen, a lot of the receivers are going to touch the football. Shannon Dawson has said it. If you look at his track record over in Houston, multiple receivers touched the football. It wasn't just the same 4 or 5 guys. About 12 to 13 receivers touched the football. That includes tight ends, running backs, wide receivers, etc. The defense. The Miami of Ohio offense was not very good last year. The defense has got to make its claim. And I don't want to take this team lightly because Middle Tennessee came in there last year at the Rock and embarrassed the U. Okay, embarrassed the U. This is a team, Miami of Ohio, that has nothing to lose. They're not expected to win, right? So Miami's got to go out there on defense and be aggressive, get some sacks, and force some turnovers. I really do think the Miami Hurricanes need to force turnovers to make this game pretty much be, a wash, and therefore the young guys get in, get their reps as well. That also includes quarterbacks, Emory Williams and Ja'Cory Brown as well. So the Miami Hurricanes defense, which did struggle last year, the run defense was suspect, had some flashes, but towards the end of the season, it was atrocious. All right. And we've heard some things about the run defense, in terms of the tackle position, about practice, but we'll see how they play against, Miami of Ohio and going forward. But I want to see some sacks. Miami's got to get some sacks. Last year, they were burned on big plays. All right. A few of them against a very, very weak Middle Tennessee State team, and they embarrassed Miami by hitting them with, I think, a 90-yarder and a 75-yarder, both in the same game. It was embarrassing, okay? Kevin Steele really dropped the ball last year as defensive coordinator, especially towards the end of the season, especially that Middle Tennessee State game. So Lance Guidry, who has an aggressive defense, these linebackers, that he uses on blitz packages and so on, they're really going to have to get to the quarterback and force some turnovers, whether fumbles or interception. So this is pretty much what I want to see in this game. I expect to see it. I do expect the players are going to come out pumped. The fans are going to be rowdy because it's game 1. And then the next week, they really, really will be tested against a Texas A&M team that is coming to the Rock that beat the Canes last year, because of a lack of execution on offense, I will say. All right, everybody, that's it for me. If you like what you heard, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to 305 Sports Now. Once again, I am Will. Stay safe. God bless you soon. Go Canes, all about the U. And by the way, congratulations, Miami, or Cristobal. You're able to sneak in Jamil Burrows. Okay, Jamil Burrows, a 6'2", 6'3", 325-pound former defensive tackle at Alabama. Has been practicing with the U, has enrolled in the U, and will definitely play for the U. Have a great evening, guys. Bye-bye.